Welcome to episode 96 of the Brunch Ladies of Conshy Consignment. We have our special guest here today, much anticipated. We have Sheri, and she's going to talk to us about all the things she does and Team Fox for Parkinson's research for Fox Sake Maine. You can tell us the difference and tell us how all that works together, Sheri. But this week is our big fundraiser, our Conshy Connects event for Team Fox. And so Sheri's going to talk about everything, and we'll probably laugh, we'll probably cry, so yeah, just be prepared.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
glad to have you back.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so, and I will link up in the show notes our previous we did the event with Sheri last year, and we also did an interview with you last year, and so much has changed in your life since we last spoke. So we're going to have to do a lot of catch up. So tell us a little bit about what you do and where you are and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So Team Fox is an organization that I've been supporting for about 10 years now. My dad got diagnosed with Parkinson's about 25 years ago. And so it just became very important for me to learn a little bit about the disease once I became more of an adult and was out of my own world, so about 10 years ago. And so Team Fox is the charity leg of the Michael J. Fox Foundation. So you probably heard of Michael J. Fox. He's a huge advocate for Parkinson's disease, being a celebrity and having the diagnosis himself. And Team Fox would be like a department of the Michael J. Fox Foundation, and it's where all the charity is done. So thousands of members of Team Fox, of which I am one. And we put on runs, comedy shows, pizza for Parkinson's, pancakes for Parkinson's, beer for Parkinson's, anything in order to raise funds to help move forward both research and support for people with Parkinson's disease. So I personally started with a pizza for Parkinson's 10 years ago. I had at a local pizza place. You came, you paid a certain amount of money. I think 10% of the pizza sales went to that, raffles and what have you. I'm a runner myself. So then a few years ago, I started Run for Fox Sake 5K, which you guys know well because you joined us last year. So we do that every August now. This year will be the fourth race. The third in person, because the first year we were not able to do it in person because of COVID. So it was virtual. So that race ends up raising quite a bit of money. For all of the proceeds go to Team Fox and the Michael J. Fox Foundation. We usually have anywhere from 100 to 150 runners. It's a great day. We've been blessed with good weather each time. I'm able to get enough local business sponsors to cover the race cost itself. So all of the registration ends up going to Team Fox, which is great. And I hope to continue that obviously each year. So
tell us, did you say what town you're in?
Yeah. Good idea. That's in Berwick, Maine. There is a virtual option though. So even if you're in California, as far away from Berwick, Maine as you can get, you can still run the race and do that virtually. But the live event is in Berwick, Maine.
Wow. And you persevered through a lot of obstacles to get that running. But I want to go back to the first event you did, the Pizza for Parkinson's.
Yeah.
So you had the event. Did anything surprising come out of it to get that ball rolling? Maybe people who showed up or connections?
Yeah, I think it's all of that, right? It was the support of my friends and family. I mean, to be honest, the race is not so much this way anymore, but that Pizza for Parkinson's, I knew every single person that walked in the door, right? So, that was just really cool. And people were really energized by it. My dad was there. And my dad was still very a capable at the time, meaning he was standing and he was talking to people and he was working the crowd. And I think, just seeing him be happy with that too was just motivating for me to continue. Obviously, it's about the greater good, but it's also about the community. That's so important to me and always has been. And to see people support my dad that way is really awesome.
So what was your dad's favorite event, if he had one?
I think he probably, I think that one he liked a lot. Who doesn't like pizza? I also think the first year we did the race, he was never a runner. He was never a walker. He was never any sort of, well, that's not true. He did play racquetball, was his sport of choice. But the beer. So we partnered with a local brewery called Corner Point Brewing in Berwick, Maine.
We love them.
Yeah, they're great. And Jamie and Kelly, the owners, they're just fantastic. And they've been so supportive. They knew Dad from his place of employment. They also worked there, and just from being small town, right? So they already knew Dad. I knew them. And I went to Jamie with this idea of a beer for April, which is Parkinson's Awareness Month. And he immediately jumped on it. And so 4 years ago, we started For Fox's Sake Blackberry Wheat Beer. And he invited my dad and I to the first brewing. So that first year when he made it, we went and I helped do the, pouring the yeast and doing the hops. And so I've got all these pictures of me doing all of those things. Dad came, he watched. He was able to choose the flavor. So it's a blackberry wheat beer. I think he originally wanted strawberry, and there was something about strawberry that wasn't going to go well with the beer. So we went through all the fruit that Dad loves, and blackberry was the one that Jamie was like, okay, I can make something with that.
And I'm here as a witness to tell you it's delicious.
And I didn't know your dad actually chose the flavor of the beer.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes. So that probably, I have to imagine, was probably his favorite. The disease took a little bit of Dad's emotion from him over the last, I'd say, 5 years. So he was a man of few words to begin with. Libby, you knew him, back in the day, and he became a man of even fewer words, as time went on. So it's a little hard to tell, but I think that was a proud day for him. I think, he enjoyed that. And we certainly made sure we got him over to the brewery each year, to try some of that blackberry wheat beer. So I think that was pretty cool. Probably his favorite.
Oh, that's so special to have that. Yeah. So, all right. So you're doing all these events, but you also had a major life change this year in that you opened a business. I kind of want to know about that and the impetus behind all of this.
Yeah. So I opened a gym in Berwick called Primal Fit. It was open 8 months ago yesterday. So we're still within our first year. There's a major revitalization of Berwick happening right now. And I'm one of the first businesses in a business and residential park that they're putting in to be kind of their revitalized downtown. So very excited for that, in the early stages. So definitely feeling the growing pains of that. But how that came to be really was, I think, a lot of timing. It's always something I've been passionate about, is fitness and nutrition. I was in a corporate job for 25 years, and, I'm thankful for it. I learned a lot about business. I got my master's degree with them. They paid for it. I didn't have to pay for a penny. I traveled a lot of places, including overseas, with that company. So, I'm thankful for it. But at the same time, towards the end, I was caring for my dad. He started requiring care and actually moved in with us during COVID. And it just was a lot. And I was no longer passionate about it. I was no longer good at it because of that. I think I became jaded. And, when we decided that it was time for me to leave there, it was time for them to say bye, and it was time for me to say bye. I just couldn't imagine sitting in front of a computer and doing those things again. I couldn't imagine the meetings. And there are people who do that, and I'm glad they do, and everyone has their own kind of journey, but mine was not doing that anymore. And I'd always kind of thought about the gym, like I mentioned, and so there we go. And I'd also started following this group that works closely with Team Fox called Rock Steady Boxing, and it's for people with Parkinson's disease. And there's a lot of research that shows that Parkinson's disease responds well, especially in the early starts of the disease. That boxing is good for, you're cognitively having to do more than one thing at the same time when you're thinking about boxing and you're thinking about defense. The whole class is non-contact. But that was another reason, honestly, is I just really wanted to dive deep into that. So I went and got trained for that as well. And so at the gym, I have 3 types of classes. I have, the general workout of the day, kind of high intensity, what I call functional fitness classes. Those are the workouts that I do each day. I have what I call legends, which is either 65 plus, limited mobility, low impact, coming back from an injury, anything like that is perfect for that. My husband, who just had open heart surgery in the fall, is in that class, and it's perfect for him. 3 days a week, 1 hour. They get a good workout in. They're all at different levels. So that's another segment of class. And then I have this Rock Steady Boxing class, which meets twice a week for an hour and a half each on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And this group of individuals, my dad did the class when he was still with us. This group of individuals is just so inspiring. It's great. I look forward to it. It's exhausting because it's so much energy but it's so much fun. They do a mix of boxing and just general weightlifting. And, they're my most dedicated members.
Really?
Absolutely. They change appointments to make sure they can get to it. They're always bugging me because they want a 3rd class a week.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Amazing. In fact, just one thing that we just did last week for Parkinson's Awareness Month, there was a sit to stand challenge where rock steady boxers all around the world took part in the sit to stand. We had 33 people show up at the gym and for 2 hours do sit to stands. We did 13,146 sit to stands that day. And these guys crushed it. Guys and gals. I have both females and males in the class. Just so much fun. So that's about the gym. Sorry, I probably went on a little bit of a tangent.
No, when I saw that post, I was I'm going to cry even just thinking about it, because I thought just how amazing that you are just absolutely living in your gifts and changed your whole life and opened this gym and are providing this resource and helping so many people. It just blew my mind, because the guts that takes, the time, the energy, but the guts that takes to move on from, a corporate job or a good job and to put yourself out there and to do that just absolutely is one of the most inspirational, mind-blowing things. And I'm just so grateful that you're my friend, because just setting that example was just amazing.
Thank you. It's definitely not without its challenges. We're about to get rid of cable, so that we can kind of trim the costs a little bit. But it's so rewarding. It's just so rewarding. So thank you, Libby. That's nice of you to say.
All right. So the Rock Steady Boxing, that is a national organization, or
worldwide? Yes,
worldwide. Okay. So if somebody didn't know about this, or they have a family member or they themselves is diagnosed with Parkinson's, this would be, they could probably go, I should put in the show notes, like the Rocksteady boxing organization.
Absolutely. I think it's
Okay.
rocksteadyboxing.org, but we can confirm that. And
Okay, I'll do
absolutely
that.
right on there is find a gym, and you can put in where your location is. And there's gyms all over the place
Yeah.
for this. Yeah.
What a
Wow.
wonderful program. Wow.
Yeah, it really is.
So what would you say if somebody is recently diagnosed with Parkinson's or has a family member who's been diagnosed? What would you say is probably, something they can, an action they can take, a connection they can make? Where should they start?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I imagine it's extremely overwhelming. I was in college when my dad was diagnosed, so I know for me, I went immediately into learning stage. But I think there are a lot of emotions that come with any sort of diagnosis, and I think first and foremost, you have to realize you're not alone. There are so many other people, and reach out to them, because tackling anything alone, and this is the same for all of our diseases and our ailments, right? You're not alone. You are not. You've got family, you've got friends, but you also have people who share in the journey that you're on. So reach out for that. But nutrition and fitness are just so important with everything too. Taking a look at the foods you're eating, they're and I'm going to sound like a gym owner now, but there's so much.
You are a gym owner.
There's so much to be said for cutting back on sugars and sweets. And it's not about good foods and bad foods. It's about the moderation and making sure you're getting your veggies, your protein, your fiber, your fruits. That's a simple thing. And that helps with any disease, any ailment you have. The other thing is exercise. I've just recently, since my dad passed 47 days ago, I've recently discovered walking. I've never been a walker, one to go out and just take. I've never been one to just go out and take a walk.
Living in that beautiful, beautiful, state and area.
I didn't have the time. I didn't have the time. I was either running. It was for like, I had to run, or I had to work out at the gym and get myself back. And I've discovered walking, and I love it. I am now a huge proponent of simply walking. So I think whether it be Parkinson's or anything else, get up and move, eat good foods, and reach out, because there are other people going through the same journey.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So it's been, you said 47 days since your dad has passed. So cheers to Robert, because, he's amazing dad, grandfather, and yeah. And I mean, the care you took and the strides you made and the sacrifices you made are just, a testament to him and what a great dad he was, but also a testament to you and, what family support can do. So,
yeah. And he was a great dad. He, he basically raised my sister and I from the time I was in 7th grade and Amy was in 5th. So, he made plenty of sacrifices himself in order to, just always be there for us. So, I'm not saying it was easy, and I'm not saying that everyone can do it. There's no judgment for people who can't take someone in to care for them at home. It is very difficult, and it comes with its own sacrifices and challenges. But I'm glad that I was able to do my small part to get him to the finish line.
Yeah. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right. So Molly, what do you have to add here? I'm kind of like hogging up the questions here.
I'm just sitting here thinking about the care part, knowing, my own personal journey with care. It is a hard road, and it isn't, I think, you find you're more powerful than you thought you were when you were put in those situations. So I'm just thinking of you now on the other end of that, because as I went through it, I know the other end of that is trying to refine your purpose. So that's, you know, because you spend so much of your time caring for somebody. So all of a sudden that's gone and you feel kind of like, wait a minute, you know? So having the gym opening up was probably a good thing too, to kind of help balance that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. And that's what I've really now thrown myself into. And because I enjoy it, it's a happy thing, right? Because,
Now, did your dad really see and understand like the gym and the things you were doing there?
He came to Rocksteady.
Oh yeah, you did say that. I'm sorry.
So he came to Rocksteady. I have some great videos of him like on the rower, and when he went to hit the bag, you know, my dad was wheelchair bound, but he stood up a few times to hit the bag. I mean, really showed his competitive side, and so it was really fun. But you know, as I mentioned, and the disease is different for everyone, but you know, it really took my dad's I don't know. It's probably too strong to say it took his personality, but it definitely took pieces of him that are hard to describe. Meaning, you know, we didn't have conversations about his feelings or what he was or wasn't proud of. It wasn't in him in the last few years. He really was without emotion. I don't know how else to kind of say that, but I think, you know, he liked being around the Rocksteady boxers. You know, they would give each other cheers and high fives, and he would sometimes ask about how they were if he had to miss a class. It's hard to explain kind of the state he was in just before he passed.
Yeah. Well, that Rocksteady, I can't wait to look that up. I just think that is absolutely just an amazing thing and an amazing resource. And I love how you just like incorporated that into your life going forward.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we're really excited this week because we're having our Conshy Connects event. That's why Sheri's here. So we are raising money for Team Fox, and we'll be doing a sale on Thursday night. You can always donate items. That runs year round where we're raising money. You can always donate items if you have those items and you want to sell them for a cause rather than consign them. That account is always open. We are always here to support. And we're just really excited to be able to do so on Thursday night in our big event, our live sale on Facebook. And then we'll do a smaller version of that over on Instagram. And all the proceeds for those 48 hours will go to Team Fox. 100% of everything we raise will go to Team Fox. So,
and thank you guys so much for doing that. You know, you did it last year and again this year. That's just awesome. And I know you do that a few times each year for different foundations or charities. And it's great that you guys do that and give back to your own communities and others. So thank you for that. You guys are special.
Oh, thanks, Sheri. We feel the same about you. You said something last year when we spoke on with Brunch Ladies about how really the most important thing to you was connections and relationships and people. And I think that we all connect on that. It's really, you know, spreading the word, getting that out there. You are not alone. There are people out there rooting for you. There are people out there opening gyms and doing Rocksteady boxing. You are absolutely not alone. So you never know like who you're going to reach or what connection you're going to make. And that piece, just you saying that last year just really made me like refocus the efforts for Conshy Connects and the different things we do, because it is all about the connections and the relationship and spreading the word and letting people know that, you know, they can be supported. They don't need to, you know, go through this journey alone. So
absolutely not.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, do we have any closing thoughts? Did I miss anything? What are you looking forward to, Sheri, this year? What are you most looking forward to?
What am I most looking forward to?
Because we'll be doing this every year. So next year when we revisit it, I have to say.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You threw me a curveball. I don't know what I'm most looking forward to. I don't know.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That is perfectly fine. I mean, you're doing a lot. You have a lot on your plate that you're working on every day and looking forward to. So I just can't wait to see where you are next year when we do this again.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
And hopefully
Love
Molly and I will be up for a visit. It won't be this summer because you got kids going to school and all sorts of
Oh.
crazy stuff. But the following one, I think we plan on attending the 5K again.
I like the every other year. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I want to get to the point where I have a bumper sticker on my car that says "I summer in Maine" and just go every summer.
There you go. I like it.
Lobster rolling down the coast.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. And you can see Sheri on the Facebook page for Conshy Consignment all year round, but especially this week when we do the events. Sheri, feel free to post information about your run. She'll be in the comments of the live sale. If you have questions on Rocksteady Boxing or Primal Fit, or maybe you are in Berwick, Maine, or near Berwick, Maine, reach out to Sheri. She is a dynamo.
And definitely see you on Thursday because I never miss a Thursday. That's so much fun, that resale therapy.
Yeah. Well, this will be extra fun. Oh, yes. And happy birthday. We did have some fun with you last week since it was your birthday on Thursday night. Putting your face in the middle of the wheel of prizes.
Yep.
We did have some fun. Thank you for celebrating your birthday with us.
Yes.
Kristen, a rural squirrel in the comments, says, "Good morning, girls." Good morning.
Hi, Kristen.
You'll have to go back and watch the beginning of this, Kristen, because you don't want to miss everything Sheri's up to and her story, because you'll walk away pretty inspired, I think, for a Sunday morning. Yeah, definitely worth it. All right. Well, until next time, guys.
Thanks. Cheers.
Bye. Bye.